All right, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we'd like to give all glory and honor and praises
To
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, a great millstone. All right, salutations to the occupant of the four corners, splitting the truth and sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. All right, it's your brother Itazawam.
Shakabar.
Ira.
All right. And we're going to get in on this whole Martin Luther King situation. You know, it being his so-called birthday or holiday. And we just want to get into a little bit something different concerning Martin Luther King. Now, we know he was a sellout, all right? We know that he had alliances with Esau, the devil, okay, which is the so-called white man. And they had a hidden agenda pushed, okay, under the civil rights movement with the whole LGBT community situation, the whole gay rights. You know, one of his mentors was Beryl Rustin, and he was an activist for gay rights and for the so-called Jews, okay? But, you know, we're going to take a different approach to the spirit because, you know, later on through his later on through Martin Luther King's life, he did build up a backbone, so to speak, or integrity, you know, understanding that Esau played him. All right. He got played by Esau. That's why the scriptures tell us. You want to get that real quick? Never trust thine enemy in the pocket for real quick.
Oh, right here. This is Sirach, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away."
So the devil is going to be the devil, okay? And he put his trust in Esau, and he was a puppet, okay? And he found out that he was a puppet for this devil, okay? And later on throughout his life, he started to realize that, and there was a quote that he said, and he said that I may have brought my nation into a burning building. And that was concerning the whole integration situation with Jake and these damn devils. Mm-hmm. And he realized that that's not going to fucking work because through economic difference,
Yep.
The
The wealth gap.
and he started to realize what they were doing to him. So he started to speak out about those things. So we want to touch on the things that he was speaking out about, okay? And it plays a big part of right now in today's society, okay, with Jake and the big economic gap with Esau. When you go deep into it, it has a lot to do with the curses in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, okay? But you can't escape the curses, and furthermore, this is not our rest, okay? But a part of his assassination, okay, was because he began to speak out and to realize that Esau, the so-called white man, is the devil, okay? And that economic gap is a huge thing in America because we could never progress. And one thing that he was instructed to do was to have everybody love everybody and we can all be one in peace and harmony. But he realized that was all bullshit.
You can look at his face countenance.
Yeah, you could tell he was through. He was tired.
Yeah, you look at his face countenance, you can tell that, you know, his dream that he once knew,
Yeah.
or once spoke about, it became a nightmare, like he want to mention now in this video. So
Yeah,
I don't want to, you know.
So this is in 1967. He did a NBC news speech, or not a speech, but you know, an interview. Yep. Okay, and it says 11 months before his assassination. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start from 15 minutes and probably end off around the 23 minutes. That's what we want to, you know, end it off on. We're going to get through it, Lord willing, we're going to be putting in scriptures with it and then, you know, commentary and speaking upon it. So we're going to get it started right now.
seems to me that white America must see that no other ethnic group has been a slave on American soil. That is one thing that other immigrant groups haven't had to face. The other thing is that the color became a stigma. American society made the Negro's color a stigma, and that can never be overlooked. So I think these things are absolutely necessary. The other thing is that America freed the slaves in 1863 through the
And you remember Elder Malcolm, he had brought out the whole what year was it? Around about the whole white. Esau called themselves white.
Oh, I think.
I can't remember the time. Yeah, exact date. But the whole black and white, that's a status, okay?
Yeah.
When it comes to economics and unemployment or employment, employment, you put your race on there, your nationality on there, by default, back especially back in the 50s and the 60s, okay, you wouldn't get jobs, man. It was a very high unemployment rate of the so-called African Americans at that time. And this is what Martin Luther King began to realize, okay? And he mentioned the color. They will always stick on the color. They're racist about the color or prejudiced about our color. And when you put on your job application, you see, African American, right then and there's no equal opportunity because you wouldn't get hired. It was a very high unemployment rate with the so-called African Americans, man. Okay? Dealing with social economics, Jake was failing tremendously. Okay? And this is the thing that he began to realize and start to speak about.
Yeah, because it desensitizes you as a human being. What it does is it takes the focus off you being a human being and you being a material thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that way people are desensitized. They don't have any type of feeling towards you. What happens to you, how your life turns out, what's happened to you in your life, or anything. That's why we supposedly had to push for civil rights, because we weren't seen as human beings. We were seen as material things. Going back to slavery and chattel slavery in 1863. Remember, this is only 100 and something years later.
Yeah, this
we
is
were still seen as property.
Yeah, well, this is this interview was 1967. We got out of slavery in 1863. So that's what about 104 years. Okay, and we were supposed to the Emancipation Proclamation was in 1863. So 104 years later, we're in a harsh situation economically of no advancement. The reason why he was assassinated. But we're gonna keep it going.
No, Salaki.
Go ahead. Yep,
before
go
you
ahead.
do that, it says the term white race. I got this off Wikipedia. The term white race or white people entered a major European language in the later 17th century.
17th century, yeah.
17th century, in the context of racialized slavery and unequal social status in the European colonies.
See, perfect. The water. It was a status. So he was complaining about we're getting called black, okay, and that's what that stigma upon black. If you put it in when you're filling out an application to get a job, you put that you're African American or black, you ain't getting no goddamn job. So we were at a disadvantage, and he began to realize that.
One more quick
Scripture?
thing. Not scripture, but
Okay.
I have an essay, an excerpt from an essay called "The Social Construction of Whiteness: Racism by Intent, Racism by Consequence" by Teresa J. Guess, University of Missouri, St. Louis. And I'm just gonna go a couple pages down on the third page, and going into Slovakia. Oh, my bad. Fourth page. It says, at the institutional level, racism by consequence tends typically not to be recognized by white Americans and may not necessarily be triggered by intent. Racism by consequence then is reflected in differential educational opportunities, economic differentials, between whites and non-whites, residential segregation, healthcare access, and death rate differentials between whites and non-whites. While foregoing assumptions in mind, types of otherwise unmasked questions posed by critical theorists regarding American race relations include what is race, what is whiteness, and what is non-whiteness? How are these ascriptions linked to social and political significance of race and whiteness?
Yeah, because they made it a status.
Yeah.
You know, and even today, when you try to go fill out for a credit card, you try to get some type of credit on this and that. Esau, they can get it like that. A young Jake getting out of high school, 19 years old, 18 years old, can get some type of credit in a fucking car loan. Yep. But I'm 18, 19, and I can't get shit because I got to build up my fucking credit.
Yep. And they might not even have a damn job.
You know? But then on top of that, their parents will co-sign. We ain't got parents that co-sign with
good credit.
With good fucking credit. Yep. You know? So by default, we're already at an economic difference.
Mm-hmm.
You see? But, you know, he began to understand that, you know. So we're gonna keep it going.
Proclamation of Abraham Lincoln, but gave the slaves no land, or nothing in reality, and as a matter of fact, to get started on. At the same time, America was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that there was a willingness to give the white peasants from Europe an economic base. And yet it refused to give its black peasants from Africa, who came here involuntarily in chains and had worked free for 244 years, any kind of economic base. And so emancipation for the Negro was really freedom to hunger. It was freedom to the winds and rains of heaven. It was freedom without food to eat or land to cultivate, and therefore it was freedom and famine at the same time. And when white Americans tell the Negro to lift himself by his own bootstraps, they don't look over the legacy of slavery and segregation. I believe we ought to do all we can and seek to lift ourselves by our own bootstraps, but it's a cruel jest to say to a bootless man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And many Negroes, by the thousands and millions, have been left bootless as a result of all of these years of oppression and as a result of a society that deliberately made his color a stigma and something worthless and degrading. Apart from wanting to live.
So he was basically speaking out like, basically, you dealt with his own bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
AKA, all what he just said, okay, is basically AKA, you motherfuckers is on bullshit.
That's why you should never trust your enemy.
Yeah, you never trust your enemy, man, because now you begin to realize, like, it won't be nothing on a just playing field, you know. And when you get into the scriptures, we're not supposed to be integrated with them regardless. So he received that judgment with that bullet, all right? And then, other talks now was that he didn't even die from that shot. He actually was suffocated in the hospital. When you can do your own personal research, you know, Coretta Scott King, she actually sued and she won the case, but it was swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he didn't even die from the gun wound. He died from being suffocated. You know, but see, that's what you get from laying with the devil.
And in bed with the devil.
You know, but see, the whole economic structure that Jake began to try to push, you know, the curses is going to overshadow that. This is not our place of rest. And that's in Micah, the 2nd chapter. Mm-hmm. This ain't our place of rest, you know. So it makes sense to, you know, to be frustrated and mad because, like, you know, we're failing in this fucking society. But Jake doesn't understand the concept of that, you know, this is our hell.
God.
You know, you got a scripture, though?
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is Ezekiel 11:10. It says, ye shall fall by the sword. I will judge you in the border of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. This city shall not be your cauldron.
And that city is talking about America. Okay, now this is Ezekiel. Ezekiel was in the Babylonian Empire. Okay, so we can take that same understanding of this passage and apply it to America because this is Babylon all over again. Okay, this is America goes back to the word Amadigo. Okay, and in the scriptures, when you go into that Hebrew word, It means bitter.
I'm sorry, Amara.
Amara. Well, that's what the same thing as, Amara go. It goes back to bitter. This is a bitter place we're in, and that's why this isn't our this place shouldn't be our cauldron, man. Go ahead.
That's why Salaki. That's why the system. I think the Greek word system means pit.
Pit.
So America known as a pit, man.
Yep.
The system basically is a pit for Jake.
Yeah, and ultimately we supposed to wait on Yahweh Shemal Shai, man.
That's right.
But you can going back to what I said, you can understand the frustration, because goddamn, we are human, sort of. You know what I'm saying? Like, give us something, and that's what the mindset of Jake was in the '60s. It was a lot of uprisings. Mm-hmm. As soon as you uprise too much and have a voice, because this man had a following. You got to remember, you go back into his old speeches of love and equality, love and being peaceful and integrating from
half the damn country.
In Washington in 1963. Now this is 1967. He has a whole new different outlook on this place. Yeah. And so oh shit, he built a foundation. He built a platform, so to speak. And we had him, but now, he's these are incitements of a revolution.
Yeah, he's slipping away.
Yeah, this is incitements of a revolution, and they couldn't have that. So like always, another fucking sellout ass Jake has to come in and try to take that puppet position. Mm-hmm. He knew he was gonna get put to death. But go ahead.
It says, "Neither shall you be the flesh in the midst thereof, but I will judge you in the border of Israel." It says, "And ye shall know that I am the Lord, for ye have not walked in my statutes, neither executed my judgments, but have done after the manners of the heathen that are round about you."
See, they wanted to be involved into this society. And in fact, we can't be involved in this society unless we sell out.
Yeah.
And then even through the sell out, the brother brought out the first scripture, never trust thine enemy. And that's why Jay gets put to death after they sell out, and then they begin to build a conscience and a integrity, because they begin to realize that, damn, this devil tricked me. Mm-hmm. That's what it was. He's in the spirit of, this motherfucker actually tricked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
That's a puppet. Okay, go ahead. You got something else?
Yeah. This is Sirach chapter 13, and I should start at 1, but I'm gonna try and get to the point here. Verse 4, it says, "If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bear, and will not be sorry for it. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee, and smile upon thee, and put thee in hope."
That's what. Hey, when you go into it, he said that he had hope back in 1963 when he did that "I Have a Dream" speech.
Yeah.
He gonna say it, but that's a scripture. That's a beautiful scripture. Read that again.
It says, "If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee."
And what was the need of Esau trying to use Martin Luther King? Okay, he wanted to calm down Jake rising up. Yeah. They used Martin Luther King. Okay, they used him to pacify Jake. So Esau seen an opportunity to use this guy. Okay, and he deceived him, and that's the reality of what was going on.
God.
Go ahead.
It says, "He will deceive thee and smile upon thee and put thee in hope."
Cause that's he was a token nigga for him.
Yeah.
He even made him believe that we can all be good and equality.
Yeah. And that's why he's so pissed. You can see the anger in his face. That's why he's so pissed off. He actually believed, and he gonna say he actually believed.
Yeah, come.
It says, "He will speak thee fair and say, what wantest thou? If he will he will shame thee by his meats, by his meats, until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice.
Damn.
And at the last he will laugh thee to scorn. Afterward."
And the part of him laughing to scorn is, guess what? This whole Martin Luther King. See, fuck Martin Luther King Day. Okay.
Yep.
The laughing to scorn is they made it a federal holiday.
That's why all the banks are closed.
They made it a federal
Damn.
holiday,
Yep.
and Jake is believing in the things that he stood for. They never teach about when he basically started to rebel against them.
Yep.
You see, they never taught about that part.
God.
They only taught about the part of when he was that token nigga for them. He was speaking of, for the involvement of Israel, okay, trying to coincide in the civil rights movement and applying it to all Jake, but all nationalities and race and this, that, and the third. Man, Jake was the only one who was going through hell back in the 50s.
Yeah.
All right, 50s and the 60s, the 40s, 50s, and 60s, you know?
It says, and at the last he will laugh thee to scorn. Afterward,
By making him by making that holiday, man. That holiday is based
It's
off
mockery.
of mockery, man. Yeah, we assassinated this nigga, but this nigga did a hell of a job of this whole non-violence situation. And it was another sellout ass nigga, Beryl Rusting, man, who was a homosexual, open faggot. Okay, Beryl Rusting. He was the mentor of Martin Luther King. You know?
it says, when he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. Damn. Matter of fact, let me
Now
skip
keep
the
going.
verse. Okay, come. It says, beware that thou be not deceived
Mm-hmm.
and brought down in thy jollity.
Because we were supposed to
Don't you
always
live it?
understand that we have an enemy.
Come.
Okay, and being in Babylon meaning confusion, okay, we were persuaded to believe that this devil was on our side.
Yeah.
You know, we was always, Jake always, Jake is sheep, man, simple as all fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
You know, just like in the time of the middle of the Greco-Roman Empire, and how we sought the Romans for aid against the Greeks. And then eventually what happened? The fucking Romans came and taxed us to shit.
Yep.
And oppressed the hell out of us, man.
And put
Trusted in our enemy because we were so simple,
Yeah. And put Herod in power.
and put him in
Always.
power. Then he became the king of the Jews. And then, during that time period, we were being a hella fucking oppressed, man.
Yeah.
Because we trusted in our enemy. But the scriptures tell us that we're not supposed to trust in our enemy. We're supposed to know that this devil, Esau, Edom, a.k.a. the so-called white man, is our enemy.
It says, if thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more will he invite thee. Press thou not upon him, lest thou be put back. Stand not afar off, lest thou be forgotten. Affect not to be made equal unto him in talk, and believe not his many words, for with much communication will he tempt thee, and smiling upon thee will get out thy secrets.
Damn.
But cruelly he will lay up thy words, and will not spare to do thee hurt.
See? And when he began to find out that this devil was the devil, he didn't give a fuck. Hey, Jesse Jackson, you want some money? Put that nigga on that motherfucking balcony. Oh, that didn't work? All right, we finna suffocate this nigga. We gonna kill him regardless.
Yep.
Because he trusted in him.
And to put thee in prison.
Yep. Because Jake get into those ancient, I mean not ancient, but that left hand side, Boule. He was a part of that Boule society.
Yep.
He was part of the Boule. And Jake in that whole Boule system of being Masons, they believe that they can actually prosper in this world, on the next hand side of the devil.
Yeah.
But you can't, man. Because this is our captivity.
That was enough.
That's it? You got okay. Let's keep it going.
That which all of us want to do. To raise one's children in a better way. To be better. Does the Negro in America know what he wants to be? I'm convinced that almost every Negro in this country, other than those who have been so scarred by the system that they've become pathological in the process, and we all have to battle with pathology. Nobody really knows what it means to be a Negro unless one can really experience it. And I know we all have to battle with this constant drain, feeling of nobodiness. But in spite of this, I think the vast majority of Negroes in this country know that they want to be people. They want to be men. They want equality, period. It just boils down to that. And we haven't been able to be people. We haven't been men because of all of the conditions that we've lived with and the
so I get Micah 2
syndrome
and
of
10.
deprivation surrounding conditions in housing, in the economic area, or in schools, or in the vicious credit practices that we face in the ghetto, and all of the problems of closed doors and constant defeats. But in spite of all this, I think we all know, basically, that we want to be men. We want to be persons judged not on the basis of the color of our skin, but on the basis of the content of our character. But you know.
You see? So, and you know what? The same thing is happening now. You know? We're still in that same position. Ain't nothing really changed, you know? And when he begins to break down and speak about how they just don't want to do it. They don't want to put money into the system for us to live, to be humans or peoples or whatever, you know? That's the devil. Get you got that Micah 2 and 10?
Come on, I got it. This Micah chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for it is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction."
See, so when we integrate with these devils, man, that is the sign of our downfall, man.
Yep.
Get Deuteronomy 32, okay? Because we're supposed to be separate from this devil. And this is not our rest. And once we get mingled in again with Jake, see, the scriptures speak about. The scriptures talk. It's like the scriptures say what they say for a reason, man. Spiritually. Okay, economically, okay? We're not supposed to be amongst these other nations because we're going to begin to go off. We're going to begin to do the wicked things that they do, be intermingled with their gods, you know, with their wicked idols of worship. And that's why we're not supposed to be a part of this society, man. Okay? Read that again about Micah 2 and 10.
God, this is back in Micah 2 and 10. It says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction."
And it has destroyed Jake. This place has destroyed us. Even if you so-called sell out, man, you're not living, you know, right. You're not living properly, man.
Yep.
Because one part of the destruction, the Lord gonna judge you, man.
We've been here too long, you know. The scripture said it's polluted.
This is Psalms 106, and I'm gonna start at 36. It says, "But were mingled among the heathen, and learned their works, and they served their idols, which were a snare to them."
See, serving the being intermingled with this society and these devils. Okay, we begin to worship what they worship.
Yeah.
We begin to believe in the things that they believe in, and we gotta be in all reality. Everything is for our hurt.
That's Jake rebellion, man.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, everything in this society is really gonna be ultimately for our hurt, man.
And,
Detrimental.
here you go.
And that's what. Well, he's in the spirit world now. He knows that now. He began to understand that these devils ain't really giving us no opportunity in this motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know, so he became a problem to the elite. You know, he became a problem to the elite, to those lower Luciferian so-called Jews. Okay, who set him up because the civil rights movement was based off of those so-called Jews. If you didn't know, okay, they set him up and they were offended that he basically woke up to the fact that they're the devil. So they killed them and then made a national federal holiday for his name's sake of commemorating, like, yeah, the job that you did do with us,
Well done, nigga.
well motherfucking done, because these motherfuckers still believe in that non-violence, hands up, don't shoot.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Taking a knee,
Yeah.
you know, and all those type of things that they mimic because of the marches that he implemented in.
And they look at that like,
So that-
he's the
yeah.
reason why we ain't got our ass beat yet.
Yeah, so that's the witchcraft that's witchcraft. So that witchcraft is like they ain't gonna rouse up and jump up against it because they still believe in the things that Martin Luther King stand for.
Yeah. That's
stood
why they
for
able
it.
to kill us in the streets of the police.
But that's why they ain't gonna play these certain clips of him in the later years. This is 11 months before he was put to death.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they served their idols, which were a snare to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils,
Yep.
and shed innocent blood.
Assimilation. Here, son, go to these American schools. Go to college.
Yeah.
Become a successful man in society. Graduate from that Greek fraternity.
And you
know?
and you still get looked as a nigga
Yep.
in this society, even within all those things.
Still a nigga in the coop.
You know. I think that's it on that.
That was
They say you got something.
Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
That was the boundary. So meaning all the nations were separated. Okay? And the Tower of Babel, the Lord came down because everyone was doing all wickedness and everybody could understand each other's languages. And the Lord separated Babylon, the Tower of Babel, at that time. So that lets us know that we're not supposed to be mingled with these other nations. You know, that's the big picture of it. You know, and in this society, these devils was only giving us crumbs. You know, they wasn't giving us nothing that was gonna sustain us our livelihood. You know, throughout our generation, like Esau passes on wealth and understanding and knowledge, throughout their time, throughout their generation. You know, so we ain't supposed to be mixed.
That's it. Another one real quick. Going back to what he was saying about you can't really understand what it is to be a Negro unless you've experienced these things, right?
Yeah.
This is Daniel 9:12. It says, and he hath confirmed his words, which he spake unto us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For upon under the whole heaven hath not been done as hath been done unto Jerusalem.
Damn.
So there's nothing under the whole heaven that has been done to any nation that they can't even compare to the pain and the destruction and the sorrow and the generational trauma that we've been through. Yeah. Unless they would be an Israelite.
Yeah.
So everything that you're getting right now, like for instance, today is Martin Luther King Day, so, and all you see on social media, on TV, on commercials is hail Martin Luther King and civil rights movement this and other nations trying to express their condolences and we know how I feel and blah blah blah. No, you don't know how I feel, because one, we're going through what we're going through because of curses being placed on us for us not even obeying the Lord. One, and two, we got a fucking sword on our back that's gonna be on our back always until the Lord these prophecies come to pass and the Lord comes back. Yeah. So everything that's been happened up from Deuteronomy the 28th chapter until now has been a culmination of Jake constantly disobeying the Lord, man, and getting our asses whooped. And he might not know why we're getting our asses whooped, but these other nations will never understand. Just like when it comes to now, they want to build the temple with us, but they can't. It has nothing to do with them. So this reporter's trying to get an inside scoop on what he's feeling about the situation, but he doesn't want to understand. He might have been sent there by the elites to gauge his viewpoint on certain things. But you got other people in these other nations.
More reason to assassinate him.
Yeah, another reason to assassinate him. They don't care about our plight. They speak evil concerning oppression.
Yeah, yep.
They speak wickedly concerning oppression.
Wickedly, yep.
So they don't give a damn. They don't give a goddamn. And these other nations are just looking at Jake as another cash grab, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because to be honest with you, I was gonna say assimilation, but yeah, assimilation or integration did nothing for Jake. but it did everything for the so-called white man.
In
But
this
line his
economy.
pockets.
Yep.
You know, boosted his economy. Now we're shopping in his stores. We're going to his schools. You know, we're
He gonna say that too. He
Okay.
gonna say it. Yeah. Let it roll. He gonna say it.
my bad.
No, you
Many
good.
young Negroes don't want anything that smacks of the American white middle class. But do they want something that smacks of whatever is the black middle class? Or do they just not want bourgeois values, which after all are the basis of this democracy?
Well, I think we have to see what they are saying. I would be the first to agree that integration does not mean giving up everything that has an Afro-American taint, so to speak, a background. I think there are certain unique things within any culture and certain cultural patterns that when you get to the process of amalgamation can really lift the whole culture. It seems to me that integration at its best is the opportunity to participate in the beauty of diversity. I think the other thing that we've got to see is that these young people are saying that there must be a revolution of values in our country.
Something that you saw
Jimmy
fear.
Baldwin said on one occasion, what advantage is there in being integrated into a burning house?
Yeah, that's-
There we go.
And I feel that,
What integration do we have being integrate? What integration do we have being in a burning house?
And that burning house is America, man. That flesh is Ezekiel 11, man. This is not our
That's not our culture.
we be the flesh therein. You want to get that real quick? 11 and 11, Ezekiel.
I got it. I'm right here.
Okay, Ezekiel 11 and 11.
Oh, we still gonna read that Jeremiah.
All right, this is Ezekiel chapter 11, verse 11. It says, "This city is not your this city shall not be your cauldron."
Yep, that's that burning house, man. You know, which is America.
It says, "Neither shall ye be the flesh in the midst thereof, but I will judge you in the border of Israel."
Yeah, man. So we ain't supposed to be the flesh in this place, man. You know, we're not supposed to be the flesh, but the way society is going and the whole economic system of Jake and our communities, you know, Jake would basically do anything to, you know, to be well off,
God.
you know? And in a sense, you know, it's understandable that Jake, you know, gotta get it by any means, far as, you know, providing for the family structure, you know, because you know Jake was and still is through the spirit is still family oriented, man. We are a nation of, you know, righteous people, even though Jake is, you know, wicked as all hell as well. But back at, you know, I'm gonna go to the 40s and 50s and 60s, man. Family
structure.
family structured, man. So we want to provide for the family, but if we can't provide for our family, man, our back is against the wall. So, you know, that's how and Esau played on that shit, man. Esau played on it, and that's why after the 70s, late 70s, or I'm gonna say the early 80s, all right, that's when that gangster rap and all that shit came in and broke it all down, man. And now we're killing each other, all type of shit, man. So they created this system for us not to even make it, man.
Before all that, the families broke up first.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, the
Families begin to break up
first. Then that's when all the bullshit started to happen.
because it all boils down to the economic community system that was put in front of us, man, after slavery, and it was basically no advancement. You know, it wasn't no fucking advancement for us, man. You know, and I'm understanding that more and more now, even going back, looking at these old pieces of speeches and this, that, and the third on what Jake's spirit and mind was at back then. Well, we look at it 2020, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you do got money, like these celebrities and shit, they had to sell out, man.
Yeah.
You know? They had to sell the fuck out, man. Physically, their body, okay, and then their soul, their spirit, their integrity, their morals, man. They had to sell the fuck out. Well, you got a scripture?
Yeah, kind of. This is Jeremiah 2:3. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Yep.
You know, and that's what Jake does. Like brother said, Jake goes out of his way to seek love from the other nations when other nations don't love you. You know, they always want to be a part of
And-
something than be a part of what they're supposed to be a part
And,
of.
and they always find out at the end though.
Yep.
Jake could find out at the end, like, damn, this the devil.
God.
You know. All right, we're gonna keep it going on this. We'll get that unjust judge, then we'll end off on that.
There's a need for a revolution of values. Because some of the values that presently exist are certainly out of line with the values and the idealistic structure that brought our nation into being. Unfortunately, we haven't been true to these ideals, and many of the values of so-called white middle-class society are values that need to be reviewed and re-evaluated, and in a real sense, they need to be changed. So I think the young people in the Negro community who are raising these questions are raising some very profound questions about our total society. In other words, they are saying that there must be a restructuring of the architecture of our society where values are concerned.
And that's
with this, I would agree.
And that's what he began to push. Okay, he began to push that, and Esau didn't like that because, like I said earlier, he had a big following. If Jake was so-called revolutionized, you know, and Esau didn't want that to happen because, you know, they know in time past whenever Jake began to rise against the government, that's a telltale sign that this shit's gonna go down. You know, them uproars of the people. And then you had them not knowing, well, where's the prophet supposed to be popping up at, you know?
So in the quest for integration, I think we can offer our whole nation something, because there are three evils in our nation. It's not only racism, but economic exploitation of poverty would be one, and then militarism. And I think in a sense, and in a very real sense, these three are tied inextricably together, and we aren't going to get rid of one without getting rid of the other.
When you stood on the Lincoln Memorial that day in August '63, and you said, "I had a dream," did that dream envision that you could see a war in Asia preventing the federal government doing for the Negroes, preventing the society doing for the Negroes, that which you think had to be done?
No, I didn't envision that then. I must confess that that period was a great period of hope for me.
He believed in Esau's system.
Many others all across the nation, many of the Negroes who had about lost hope. We saw a solid decade of progress in the South. And in 1954, which was, 64, 1963, 9 years after the Supreme Court's decision to be in the March on Washington, meant a great deal. It was a high moment, a great watershed moment. But I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare.
See?
I'm not one to lose.
He said the dream that he had turned into a nightmare. He realized that there's no winning in this society with these devils. I didn't put my people to believe in this shit, and that's only to our hurt.
Yep. Like the scripture say.
That was only to our hurt.
Yeah.
So he said that dream that he had, it became a nightmare, man. You know?
Go to Jeremiah real quick.
Hope, right?
23 and 1.
Uh,
Dream.
yeah, well, it started from 25.
All right, come. This is Jeremiah 23 and 25.
Yep.
It says, "I have heard what the prophet said that prophesied lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed."
Hey, this is the famous
Scripture.
Martin Luther King scripture. You know, because that so-called dream was against the will of Yahweh Shemel Shai.
Yeah.
You know, it had nothing to do with
What the prophecies.
what the prophecies of the Lord spoke about.
Yeah.
You know?
But it had everything to do with Esau's establishment.
Yep. Go ahead.
It says, "How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesies lies?"
So a prophet means to what? Say before, right? So him being a so-called pastor or reverend, he spoke about this dream, okay, of equality, of mixing Jake and Esau together. And that dream was a lie, man. That had nothing to do with the Lord, you know. They had everything to do with the devil, okay. And it was another way of Esau making money too, like we were speaking about earlier. You know, mingle. You know, by putting us together, they made money off of that. We can go into their stores and make them money now. You know, instead of back then, because well shit, they bombed Tulsa. When we was by ourselves, making money on our own. So that setup of him being that puppet to try to push the envelope of everybody to be one another. It was only dealing with money. It was only dealing with putting more money in this devil's pocket through the economy. But guess what? Our personal economy was failing. Our community, I should say, our community was failing.
It says, yea, they are prophets of the deceit
Yep.
of their own heart.
Yep.
And he was. You heard what he said. He said he hoped. You know what I'm saying? Back then he hoped and he believed in what he was doing was the right thing. You know, in his own mind. So he was the prophet of the deceit of his own heart.
Right.
It says, which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
Go ahead, keep on.
It says, the prophet that have a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that have my word, let him speak my word faithfully.
See, he said, so the hell with these so-called dreams that these other fake. It ain't just him, Jesse Jackass, quote unquote Reverend Al Sharpton, Louis Farrakhan, all this BS that they speaking. Yeah, y'all go ahead and live by them damn dreams, man. But the word of Yahweh Shema Shai is gonna stand above all of that, man.
Right.
Go ahead.
He say, what is the chaff to the wheat? Saith the Lord Yahweh. It is my word like as fire.
See, the word is like a fire, man. Esau's words is smooth wickedness, man. And his word being a fire, man, is consuming these people, man. That's what's important, not these false ass dreams, man. These false ass epiphanies that these so-called pastors and reverends speak about, man, has nothing to do with Yahweh Shema Shai, man. Go ahead.
Says the Lord Yahweh, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces.
Yep.
Therefore, behold, I am against the prophet, says the Lord, that steal my words, every one from his neighbor.
That's still his words, and his words are the words of the scriptures, man.
Yep. See, yeah, they try to come out the Bible and say, this is what,
This is the will of the Lord.
Yeah.
It says, behold, I am against the prophets, saith the Lord, that use the tongues he saith, behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams. Saith the Most High Yahweh, and do tell them, and cause my people to err.
Yep, and Jake went off. That's why he said, I integrated my people into a burning building.
Yep.
By their lies.
Yep.
And by their likeness. Yet I sent them not.
Yeah, by their lightness, I believe it's like anger and basically over wickedness.
Yep.
Their lightness when it comes to this. They take a light. That word was. Let me see my phone. No, keep going out. You got it.
It says, yet I sent them not, nor commanded them. Therefore they shall not profit this people at all, said the Most High. So the Lord, his word is like fire, man. Plus, he didn't send the false prophet, the prophet of Israel, man. And Martin Luther King, man, he realized that that Esau ain't what it cracked up to be.
Yeah, dealing with this devil when cracked up with the people.
Cracked up to be.
Yeah. All the work that he did, that he believed in, was in vain. And thinking about that, think of the turmoil Jake be having to go through after they realize it.
Yeah.
Because now he realized, like, damn, I brought all of my people through the ringer with this shit for nothing.
And he was hitting on he was hitting on. We gonna end it in a minute. He was hitting on how, and it's a pretty good pretty good interview too, by the way. But he was hitting on how the Vietnam War, it was so much focus on this war, but you wasn't basically paying attention to what was going on in your back door, you know, which was going on with our people, man. What was going on in our society, you know. And he was like, shit, they basically don't give a damn. They're, you know, that he was stressing about, yeah, okay, we got integrated into the schools, we got integrated into the buses, you know, with the whole Rosa Parks situation. And, you know, now we're on the buses and this, then the third, blah, blah, blah. But it was only to racket up that money for the economy. Yep. But when it came to putting money into our community, it was always bullshit, you know. And that's true even to this day, man, when you have certain youth programs for Jake in the community, they have to go all out to get a stipend a month, or a stipend every 6 quarters, you know, or a quarter, or 6 months, or whatever the case is, and it'd be little budget money, but they're spending billions on military and billions on other issues, but we're getting a $500 stipend for a Boys and Girls Club program, $500 fucking dollars for a program. But you paying billions for this for other shit, you know. So, you know, we're gonna end it off on that. He began to have a backbone at the later times of his living, you know. But, you know, regardless, he still sold out to the devil, and he was judged off of that standpoint. But, you know, in the ending, you know, he wasn't wrong, you know. Yeah, he's the devil. Esau's the devil, man.
Yep. Never trust on an enemy.
Yep.
You know, and Jake is going. To be honest with you, when it comes down to these later years and the last days that we are in, Jake is going to learn, you know, that they should never trust the Esau.
They going to know the hard way, though, man. No, all Jake is hard-headed, so they're going to learn the hard way.
God.
But, stop, go ahead.
Yeah, cause like right now today, Jake don't even know how he really got killed. Most of Jake still don't know that.
Information age. They should fucking know it. Yeah. But Jake don't research, study, nothing like that. No, they don't. So, regardless, you know. But if Jake did know, they you know, well, you know, fuck Jake, man. Hey, fuck Jake. Yeah, Jake, fuck Jake.
Oh, okay, yeah, shit, well.
That's fucked up.
Right.
It's fucked up, shit.
Oh, yeah, they suffocated him, damn. Yeah. But that's it.
That's it.
You know, hey, and Strip say, who should rise him up? The Lord gonna rouse Jake up, though. Yep. And that's what we waiting on through the Spirit. But with that, we'd like to give all glory and honor and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Chakudash, Divine our apostles, great millstone. Salutations to the occupants pushing in truth and love, diligence, sincerity, respect, fear, and trembling. Abba, Ball.